name's Scott McWilliams, a wildlife biologist with Missouri Department of Conservation, and today we're going to talk about how a landowner can sell his timber or his forest. The first step would actually be to do a forest management plan, and those can actually be done by local consultants. And so we're going to use the one now that I'm using on my farm. Once a stand is inventoried by either your local forester or a contract forester, any tree that is inventoried normally receives a couple blue paint spots. One is at the base and the other one is 4.5 feet off the ground, or what we call diameter breast height, DBH. And so this means when this tree is cut, we can tell on the first log that this was an inventoried tree, and also it can still be matched up with the stump because there's a blue paint there. So this is the first step to make sure you have a correct number of trees that are inventoried. In the log yard, a check and balance on the system is that the butt cut log must have this blue paint, and that does show that this is an inventoried tree. This is a traditional way of logging in the Ozarks, and we have an individual here cutting the trees from the stump, and this is called a feller. He actually then comes in and cuts the tree into desired lengths, and that is called a bucker. And so this is the traditional way timber is harvested in the Ozarks. This is an example of a high quality, good grade log. Notice the uniform texture and color with no interior damage on the tree showing. Notice the annual rings on this stump. The darker ring at my thumbnail is the cambium. This is how a tree grows in diameter. Each ring represents a year's growth and a year of age. So all trees can be aged to determine what kind of growing conditions they existed under. This tree shows exterior damage at the base of the tree. This was caused by a wildfire and is called a fire scar or fire damage. When this damaged tree was cut, it shows on the interior this damage, and many times exterior damage causes rotting or hollow logs or trees that can no longer be utilized in the timber industry. The previous slide shows the traditional way a tree is cut from the stump and then it is cut into log lengths. We do have an automated system that is being used today, and this is an example. This machine is called a feller buncher. It picks up the whole tree once it is cut off. It packs the tree and piles it with other trees that are cut, preparing them to be skidded to a log yard. This is a close-up of the feller buncher. You notice at the base it has a carbide tipped blade that automatically saws the tree from the stump, and the two arms above it actually grasp the tree hydraulically and can pack it to the log yard. After the tree is either cut traditionally or by the feller buncher, they are stacked in a log yard, and there a log skidder actually collects all or several tree length trees in the log yard and skids them to the next operation. After being dropped off at the log yard, we now have a delimber that picks up each tree and prepares it to be processed. The delimber pulls the tree length tree across a set of knives, cutting off all the limbs. It then lays the limb-free tree in a cradle, and the tree is cut automatically into desired log lengths by automatic saws. The cut-off logs are then stacked with the remainder of the tree length tree in a separate pile. Here we see the tree length, or the logs on the left. These are cut 8.5 foot, or what traditionally makes a railroad tie. The rest of the trees are stacked on the right, and these trees will probably be utilized in the pallet industry. In an uneven aged managed cut, numerous trees are left, and so care must be taken when skidding not to damage the trees that are desirable to leave, which will be your future forest. This is an example of a tree that was damaged in the log skidding operation, and so this tree will no longer be usable in your future stand or your future forest.